if you have a huge gap in relevance, that's not necessarily a problem unless you make it a problem, unless we don't acknowledge the gap in relevance, unless we don't do something about it. Now, there are two ways to bridge this gap. Okay, the first way is we can ask the dog to slide a little bit more towards Humansville. The way that we do them, so we're essentially, think of it this way, you're drawing them out of being dog-like, you're asking them to be less dog-like, and you're drawing them over to your side of the relevance scale to close that gap. The way that you do that is through obedience. That's how we close that gap. We have to teach our dog all of the rules. We have to teach them what it's like to be on a leash. We have to teach them what it's like to obey leash laws. We have to tell them to suspend all of their yearnings. Yes, today on the podcast, I'm talking about yearnings. Didn't like it when I first said it, still don't like it now, but hey, it's already been said. I guess we are just gonna have to get into it.
Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it.
Hey there, friend. If you've ever thought, man, I would love to work with Tracy, but I live so far away, did you know that you actually can work with me? One of the best ways to do that is join me inside the Fearless Framework 12-month online program where I walk you through my simple 3-step system on building trust with a dog to create an unshakable bond. There you'll get access to the full program, monthly Zoom coaching calls, exclusive member discounts for one-on-one sessions with me. So if you've been like, I would love to just, sit down and chat with Tracy, now's your chance. Get ready to stop guessing and start connecting. Head on over to beyondobedience.ca/fearless. I can't wait to see you there. Well, hello, my beautiful friend. It is Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience, the podcast. Super duper welcome if you are brand new. If you're brand new, hey. Nice to meet you, friends. So glad that you are here. Today we are continuing to talk about some myth busting. Wait, let me get that opening again. Hold on. Myth busting. I don't know why I'm doing that. I don't know why. I started it. Now I can't stop it. It's a thing that happens now every time I say myth busting. All right, we're going to be getting into some more myth busting today. We're going to be talking about a common issue that maybe some people don't even know it's an issue, but it kind of is. It comes up a lot in consults. And it's basically this idea of, either my dog should know better or also, but I love my dog, so why aren't they listening to me? Or my dog loves me, so why aren't they listening to me? This idea that love and the love that you have for your dog and the love that your dog has for you. And hey, I'm not saying your dog doesn't love you. Your dog loves you. Like huge love. Why wouldn't your dog love you? I mean, you're awesome. But sometimes we get that mixed up with this idea of relevance and how to be relevant. We feel like love is what makes us relevant. Because my dog loves me and I love my dog, therefore I am relevant to my dog. And that actually, isn't the case. Now, again, that doesn't take away from the love. We're not taking it. We're not saying your dog doesn't love you. We're just saying that it's not equal. Love doesn't equal relevance. That's what we're talking about today on the podcast. First, let's start. I gotta settle in for this. First, let's start talking about relevance and something I like to call my relevance scorecard. Now, for this, you need to picture, if you will, because normally I do this like in person or with a whiteboard and I draw it. It's hard to do on a podcast. So close your eyes, unless you're driving, don't close your eyes. But picture, if you will, sort of a line graph. So on one end of the line, it's kind of like a spectrum. Let's look at it that way. So on one end of the spectrum, you have dog-like, right? And on the far other side of that spectrum, you have human-like. Now, on the extreme sides of this line spectrum, the dog-like side, I want you to picture over there nature, trees, rabbits, deer, smelly pond scum, poop, deer poop, everything, all the nature stuff. Really, really digging it. I mean, hey, if you want to draw the picture along with me, you can. So under dog-like, you're going to have all of those things like animals and deer and trees and all of the fun stuff. And then I want you to go all the way over to the other side of that relevance scorecard. And I want you to draw a house. And I want you to draw a big television. I want you to draw a little stick man figure, unless you're an artist, and holding a cell phone and eating a pizza from the microwave. You're getting my point, right? So very human-like experience. So very, very extreme differences, right? On the one hand, we've got something so far removed from nature, which is us humans. We've forgotten what it means, like what survival is. We don't know what any of that is anymore. And then on the other side of that scale, you have the dogs living this dog-like experience, which is full-on nature, full-on survival. They're killing prey. They're doing all the things, right? Extreme differences. Now, I want you to kind of picture yourself and your dog and then kind of place yourself on that scale. And this isn't a shame thing. Like if you're someone that I like me a good Netflix and chill, I like to be inside eating my pizza and watching Netflix. That's fine. No judgment. There's no judgment. You can be over and on the human-like side as far as you want. You can be maybe you're there by necessity and not by desire. Maybe it's just right now in your stage of life, you are living in a high-rise apartment in a concrete jungle, and this is all you got. That's fine. Just put where you are on that scale. Now I want you to look at your dog, and I want you to think about, where would my dog fit on that scale? Not what they are currently doing, but like their genetic resume, like who they are. Maybe you have to Google some of that for a little bit to kind of really dig into this. You Google your dog's genetic resume and you find out that they were originally born to hunt down lions, like the Rhodesian Ridgebacks or other crazy breeds, pick a breed. They're meant to be out in the back 150 acres herding sheep or going after the cattle or running cows, whatever. Like, I want you to sort of picture that and then place them where you think they are on that relevance scorecard scale. The distance between you and your dog would be your relevance gap. You have a gap in relevance, this relevance of understanding each other. Your dog is like, I don't get why you'd want to live over there in Humansville. And you're over there being like, because Humansville is warm and cuddly. Come on over, right? So that's your relevance gap. Now listen, if you have a huge gap in relevance, that's not necessarily a problem unless you make it a problem. Unless we don't acknowledge the gap in relevance, unless we don't do something about it. Now, there are two ways to bridge this gap. Okay, the first way is we can ask the dog to slide a little bit more towards Humansville. The way that we do them, so we're essentially, think of it this way, you're drawing them out of being dog-like, you're asking them to be less dog-like, and you're drawing them over to your side of the relevance scale to close that gap. The way that you do that is through obedience. That's how we close that gap. We have to teach our dog all of the rules. We have to teach them what it's like to be on a leash. We have to teach them what it's like to obey leash laws. We have to tell them to suspend all of their yearnings. It's a weird word when I said it. I didn't like it when I said it. Like they have urinates, right? We have to impulses. Let's say that we have to ask them to suspend all of those things that they love to do in nature to bring them all the way over to Humansville so that they are successful. Will they still struggle? Probably. There's always going to have that pull back to what is natural to them. So the more you have to pull them over, the more that dog lives in a really, really dog-like state, the more obedience you'll need. Okay. Now there's another way that you can help a dog that is all the way over in, dog-likeville. Geordie land, we used to call it for Heather and Geordie, dog land. And that is for you, the human, to slide down towards the dog, for you to be a little bit more dog-like. Now that takes understanding of drives, understanding of motivation, understanding of what really internally makes your dog tick. That's the kind of knowledge base that you need if you want to slide down a little bit more to be dog-like with your dog. Now, the next question you're probably going to ask me is, can we do both? And the answer is absolutely. Absolutely, you can do both. And that's where we talk about this idea of marrying obedience versus beyond obedience, right? Because that's what I like to call moving more dog-like. That's going beyond obedience, right? That's understanding dogs at a core, deeper level, really getting to know what it is that makes up your dog. Not just your dog, but dogs in general. What it's like to live inside of the world and see the world through your dog's eyes. That's beyond obedience, okay? So you can 100% do both. You can do some obedience to help pull your dog from the dog-like side of the scale, and you can do some more understanding so that you understand the dog, and you're making an effort. You're coming out of Humansville a little bit. You're engaging in nature with your dog. You're putting down your cell phone and you're going out pretend hunting and seeking and searching. You can 100% do that. That's important. I'm probably going to butcher the quote, which will make me sad, but please know it's not because I should have this quote memorized off the top of my head. However, menopause. But one of my favorite quotes is from Dr. Bruce Fogel and from the book, The Dog's Mind. It was one of the things that when I first read the book many years ago, I stopped and I highlighted it and I came back to it. And it just stuck out to me as such. I mean, at first glance, you're kind of like, oh, well, that's pretty simplistic. But also, I don't think we actually think about it this way. But it is that the idea of expectations, and that the dog does not expect to be treated like a human. A dog expects a human to act like a dog, to hunt together, to sleep together, to hunt together, to play together, to sleep in the same den, something like that. I, again, butchered it. But the idea is that when you bring a dog into Humansville, they don't come into Humansville expecting all of the comfort or creature comforts of Humansville. They don't expect the Egyptian cotton sheets on their, 1,000 thread count, whatever beds that they have, and the organic blah, blah, blahs. They don't expect all of those things. They expect you to act like a dog because they only know how dogs act. They only know how to be a dog. So now, again, they are adaptable and they change and all of that stuff, and we can train them, and all of that stuff is true. But at the core level, they don't expect to be treated like a human. They expect you to act like a dog. And that's what makes you relevant. Are you providing survival things to your dog? Are you providing food and shelter and all that stuff? And you're going to say, yes, I am. I provide food, shelter, and I do all those things, Tracy. Sure you do. Except that you don't do it like a dog does it, right? You didn't go out and hunt that food. You didn't go find that food. You didn't go search for that food. Your shelter quite often is run by the dogs. Right? And don't say it's not. You don't say something like, no, that doesn't happen here. It does happen. We all do it. I've done it. If you let your dog on the furniture, have you ever done this? Have you ever let your dog on the furniture and they're like, oh, you're not comfy, and you just kind of scoot over a little bit, and then next thing you know, you're kind of crammed up against the armrest with one, leg sticking out, and you're like, you don't want to move because your dog looks so cute snuggled up beside you. You're nodding your head because I know, yes, you do it. You do it, which means, they are manipulating our resting spots and all of that stuff. Like we don't treat it the same way. The whole point of it is that, our den is usually run by the dogs. We have water all that. We don't go and find a watering hole for the dogs. No, we have water down all the time. I'm not saying pick up your water. Please hear me when I say this. I'm just saying we don't get the same relevance points that we think we do because we provide a dog food bowl of food and a bowl of water and shelter, right? We didn't go out and hunt with them. We didn't go out and find with them. We didn't go out and do those things with them. So our relevance points are always a little bit less than what we think they are. So the more that you can engage with your dog in their environment, in their world, understand what they are seeing, see the things that they're seeing, understand threat levels, all the things we talk about here on the podcast, the more relevant you become, right? And it's not about love. You can't love your way into relevance. You can't cuddle your way into relevance, right? You really can't. All right, I think that's it. Is that it? I think that's probably it. All right. I think that's it. Let's wrap that one up. That's my myth busting. Hold on. Because why not? Why not? Why wouldn't I add that at the end? Listen, if you like this kind of thing, can you do me a favor? Head on over to Apple, leave a 5-star written review. Really helps push the podcast out to more and more people. If you're on Spotify, leave me a comment. Make sure that you are subscribed over there. And as always, get out there today, my dog loving friend, and be the person that your dog thinks you are. Because your dog thinks that you're amazing, and so do I. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only. It's not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you're really struggling with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.